Let's talk a little bit about playing Latin styles. Most of the Latin styles that we will play as jazz musicians are going to fall into one of three categories: bossa nova, samba, salsa. The salsa category is going to contain many other grooves as well, such as mambo. I mean, our part is essentially the same for mambo, songo, rumba, you name it. Our part tends to be the same. It's the drum and percussion parts that will change for that. So let me show you a little bit of each and some things that you can do. The big fault that I see often with younger players is, let's just say it's a C minor chord. The pattern for bossa nova, as you can see from the graphic, is 1, 5, 5, 1, 1, 5, 5. Sounds like this. And you can hear the beat, right? Oftentimes I'll hear this, and this is wrong. 1, 1, 5 is wrong. The thing that propels Latin music forward is the anticipation of that note. So before the downbeat, you're playing the next note, for instance. Make sense? Let me give you one variation on a pattern so you have something extra that you can do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Traditionally, the fifth is usually lower. In contemporary music, it doesn't matter so much. But traditionally, it would be like this. Notice how when it's lower, there's almost more of a little accent on that note. It's a very cool thing. In fact, if you're playing really traditional bossa novas, they don't play that anticipation. They tend to play, and they let the drums take care of all the rest of those things. So that is equally acceptable. If you're looking for a fatter sound for any of these Latin grooves, often what we'll do is we'll play it in a higher position on the bass, so there's a little less sustain, it's a little thumpier, and it acts more like a percussion instrument. So you might play, for instance, here. You can hear a little bit of difference from playing from there, right? So keep that in mind. You can play in a higher register of the bass for a slightly different effect. The next Latin style I'd like to talk about is the samba. And for us bass players, it is essentially a double time feel of the bossa nova groove. So, again, thinking C, you know. That's all it is. And here's a variation. I'm going to anticipate into the second bar. Remember that this is called cut time, 2/2 time. So there's 2 beats per bar. So I'll count it off like that. 1, 2, here we go. So there's a little variation on that for you. The next groove I want to talk about is basically, and I'm just going to refer to it as the salsa groove. People have such a hard time with this because ultimately we don't play beat 1. This groove is also in a cut time feel or 2 beats per bar. But here's a great way to get started on feeling this groove. In fact, let me play you the groove for a second. And again, I'm just going to stay on C minor, and you get an idea of what this sounds like. 1, 2, 1, 2. Where's 1, 1, 1, 1? Little tricky thing, isn't it? I want you to try something. We all feel this groove, right? Right? We can play that groove. We can hear that. Let me count it. 1, 2, 1, 2. Play that for a while until you get so comfortable and you just start not playing the first note, but letting that last note ring over. So I'm going to do it like 4 times, and then I'll start to drop that first note. 1, 2, here we go. Here we go. So you hear how you can almost hear it in your head, right? So you're still hearing that whole pattern. Leave out the first note. 1, 1. Any octave. If you're making a lot of chord changes with the salsa feel or this type of a groove, realize that the chord that you're going to is the one that you actually anticipated. So if I was going to do 2 bars of C and 2 bars of F, and then maybe back to C, it might sound something like this. 1, 2, 2. 1. See how that works? You're anticipating the chord that you're going to. And in a nutshell, there's your salsa groove. Get comfortable with it. It's not that hard. Part of the deal is that you just got to hear the downbeat in your head pretty strong. And hopefully the drummer will be there with you and he'll be kicking on 2 and you're going to sound rock solid. All right, good luck with the Latin feels.